What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin. Before we get into anything today, I do want to let you know that tomorrow night, Wednesday, we are going to be live at 7 p.m. Eastern time to watch the Red Sox take on the New York Yankees. If you haven't been to a live stream yet, they are a ton of fun regardless of how this Red Sox season's going. And this one in particular is going to be a ton of fun because Red Sox Yankee games are always fun regardless. Again, that is 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night, Wednesday. Anyways, this regular season's really winding down here. We've only got about 20 to 25 games left, and Red Sox playoff odds are essentially at zero, so it's time to turn our attention towards the offseason. Now, we've talked a lot about how important this Red Sox offseason is for not only the 2023 Red Sox, but the Red Sox of the future. And we've done some individual videos talking about some free agents coming up in 2023, but we've never really done a full comprehensive video of every Red Sox free agent in 2023 and whether or not the Red Sox will sign them. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to go through every single Red Sox free agent coming up in 2023. We're going to talk about whether or not I think that the Red Sox will re-sign or try to re-sign any of these players, and I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below. As we're going through these players together, let me know which ones you would want to sign and bring back for 2023 and which ones you would rather let go. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video. Helps these videos out a ton, would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. There are a ton of Red Sox players in this 2023 free agent class, and we're going to go through all of them, so buckle up because this may be a long ride. And to start, we're going to start with the obvious one, Xander Bogaerts. Now, Xander's on this list because he does have a player option. He's not technically a free agent yet, but we all know he's going to opt out, and this answer should be obvious. It's yes. Duh. Obviously, and I'm not going to go into super details as to why Xander Bogaerts should be re-signed by the Boston Red Sox. We all know why, right? He's a cornerstone player. He's a leader. He's got the defensive skills now. He has improved his defense immensely, and that power is coming back. Again, not going to get super into it. You guys all know my feelings, but yes, Xander Bogaerts should be here for a long time. After that, Chris Sale's on this list, mostly because much like Xander Bogaerts, Chris Sale does have a player option in 2023. It's for $27.5 million. But unlike Xander Bogaerts, let's be honest here, Chris Sale is not opting out of this deal. In an ideal world, Chris Sale would opt out and take a lower deal, sort of a prove-it deal for this Red Sox team, but he's not going to do that. Money talks, so Chris Sale will be here in 2023. The next guy on this list is JD Martinez. I love JD Martinez. Everything that he has done for this Red Sox team in the past has been absolutely superb, and in my opinion, I think most people's opinions, he was one of the best overall free agent signings the Red Sox have ever made. However, if we're talking about extending JD Martinez into 2023 and beyond, I just don't think the Red Sox should/will do that. Let's all be honest here. JD Martinez is on the back nine of his career, which is perfectly fine, right? He's had a very long, very interesting, very successful MLB career, so it's okay that he's on the back nine. But if we're looking at this 2022 season and not even looking at the nagging back injury that he's had the entire year, he just simply does not look like the same player. I do think there's a team out there that is willing to take a chance on JD Martinez, and I just don't think that the Red Sox will/should be one of those teams. After that, we have Eric Hosmer. Again, another guy with a player option, this time for $13 million. Now, it's important to note here that the Red Sox are not paying $13 million to keep Eric Hosmer on this roster. When they got him in the trade, they got him for league minimum, and the Padres are actually paying most of his contract. So that's important to note going forward. But either way, again, like Chris Sale, with injuries in his performance this year, it seems like a no-brainer for Eric Hosmer to opt into that contract and play the 2023 season with the Red Sox. Just because he opts in doesn't mean the Red Sox will have him on the roster in 2023. I could see them over the offseason either letting Eric Hosmer go, releasing him, or trading him to another team, because right now the Red Sox are essentially paying league minimum for Eric Hosmer to be a mentor to Tristan Casas, which is great and all. It's fantastic actually for Tristan Casas to learn from a successful big league first baseman that he's close with, but at the same time too, at some point you're going to need that roster spot for a guy who isn't just going to be able to play first base and take some hacks at DH. So while I think Eric Hosmer will opt in and start the year for the Red Sox in 2023, I don't think he will finish the year with the Red Sox in 2023. Nate Eovaldi's the next one up on this list, and much like JD Martinez, Nate Eovaldi has a lot of memories here with the Boston Red Sox. He was a fantastic signing, and he's done a lot of great things for this Red Sox team, especially with the fact that Chris Sale's been injured pretty much the entirety that Nate Eovaldi's been here, and he truly has been, in my opinion, I think a lot of people's opinion, the ace of this Red Sox team. However, again, like JD Martinez, we're starting to see a different Nate Eovaldi, and not one that I think a lot of people are super happy with. In fact, he's really only had one truly fully healthy season here with the Boston Red Sox, and in that year he was fantastic, but outside of that he's been hurt a lot, and I think that's the big thing with Nate Eovaldi going forward, his injury history. There is a possibility that Nate Eovaldi comes back from the IL, pitches really well, and gets a 2 to 3 year deal, which I could see happening. However, if that does happen, I think that the Red Sox really need him to be a 3 or 4 starter in this rotation. I think if the Red Sox go into 2023 with Nate Eovaldi as your 1 pitcher or your 2 pitcher, you just simply did not do enough, because this rotation has been a problem health-wise this entire year, and to have a guy on this rotation be your number 1 or number 2 starter with the health issues that Nate Eovaldi has is a big issue. So in my opinion, yes, I think the Red Sox will look into re-signing Nate Eovaldi depending on how he performs when he comes back from the IL, but I think it has to be in a limited capacity, a 2 to 3 year deal in that 3 or 4 hole slot in this rotation. Next up is Tommy Pham, and Tommy Pham has a really interesting scenario because he's the only one on this list that has a mutual option, meaning that he has to opt into his contract and the Red Sox also have to opt into his contract. I would be shocked if Tommy Pham doesn't opt into his contract. He likes playing in Boston. $6 million a year for kind of a MLB journeyman is pretty decent, and he has some stability, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Red Sox don't. Personally, I think Tommy Pham would be a great 4th outfielder. I think he brings a lot of edge and a lot of different tools to this Red Sox team that we have not seen this year, but at the same time too, I know a lot of Red Sox fans want more out of their corner outfield position. If you are going to opt in and take on Tommy Pham's contract for the 2023 season as a 4th outfielder, I don't think that's that big of a deal. I actually enjoy that. I think he could spend some time in DH and do pretty well there. He's a decent defensive replacement, and he can play some games in the outfield when guys need days off and stuff like that. But at the same time too, we're going to talk about another guy on this list later that I think may actually be better for that 4th outfield position. Either way, if you are bringing back Tommy Pham this offseason, I think it has to be in a 4th outfield role. I think if you bring him back as a starter in 2023, you just simply did not do enough for this outfield position and the power that is lacking in that outfield position. After that, we have Michael Wacha. Now, if we're talking in terms of re-signing Michael Wacha, we also have to look at Nate Eovaldi, because I don't think there's a world in which the Red Sox can have both Nate Eovaldi and Michael Wacha. The reason for this is because, like I said with Nate Eovaldi, if you have both Michael Wacha and Nate Eovaldi in this rotation to start the 2023 season, you just didn't do enough to bolster this rotation. We can't run it back with the same rotation because we saw what happened in 2022, and repeating that same mistake would be detrimental to this 2023 team. You kind of have to decide between Nate Eovaldi and Michael Wacha, and personally, if I have to choose between the two of them, if I'm the front office and have to choose between the two of them, I think I go Nate Eovaldi. Yes, he's been hurt a lot more this year than Michael Wacha. Yes, he's had worse numbers than Michael Wacha, but overall in the history, I think Nate Eovaldi has been a little bit more of a reliable pitcher. That's just my personal opinion, though. That could kind of go either way. There is also a world here where I could see the Red Sox re-signing Michael Wacha to a 1 to 2 year deal, kind of be the 4 or 5 hole position in this rotation, let Brian Bayo sort of work out of the bullpen a little bit to start the year and truly stretch him out. That could be a world I see. I also see a world where they re-sign Michael Wacha and kick Nick Pivetta into sort of the 6th man in the rotation role, a guy who really kind of spot starts, right? Does every 2-3 weeks, stuff like that, to try and give this rotation a little bit of a break, maybe break up into some better matchups, stuff like that. So I could see a world where that happens. But if we're talking just straight out of the rotation guys, you cannot have both Michael Wacha and Nate Eovaldi. It just simply is not doing enough to make this rotation better. And speaking of the rotation, Rich Hill is also a free agent after this year. This one's a pretty easy no. I don't think the Red Sox will extend him. He was great for what we paid for him this year. But again, like we've been talking about with Nate Eovaldi, like we talked about with Michael Wacha, if Rich Hill is on this team as a starting pitcher for the 2023 season, we just simply did not do enough to make our team better going into 2023. Now on to the bullpen. We got Matt Strahm. Matt Strahm, I would love to have back for this 2023 season. He has been a fantastic setup bridge guy for the closers, for the late inning guys in this bullpen. I think he can continue to do this for the Red Sox for a long while. I think he could be a really decent addition to this Red Sox bullpen. Now, the problem with Matt Strahm, though, is that during this season, he actually did an interview in which he stated he wanted to try and become a starter this offseason. So if a team is willing to take the chance and make Matt Strahm a starter and put them in their rotation, let him go. I do not want Matt Strahm in this rotation. I want him in this bullpen. So if he wants to be a bullpen relief pitcher, yes, bring him back. But if he truly wants to focus on becoming a starting pitcher, let him go. I just don't think that's worth it for the Boston Red Sox. After that, we got Kevin Plawecki. I mean, I love Kevin Plawecki. I think he's done and brought a lot of things to this team that we don't really see on the field. I think he's a great clubhouse guy and a great personality. But if we're talking in terms terms of 2023, I just don't think he has a spot on this roster. Connor Wong's been doing good since he's come up. Reese McGuire is doing good. And on top of both of those, they're both good defensive catchers, and the bases are getting bigger this year. We know how much Kevin Plawecki has struggled this year with throwing guys out on the base pass, and the bases are only getting bigger, and that ability to throw guys out is only going to become more important. Kevin Plawecki just simply does not have that, and for that reason and that reason only, I just don't think the Red Sox will bother trying to re-sign him this off season. Urias Familia is also a free agent this offseason, and this is a very easy no. He has not been good for the Red Sox since he's been here. He was simply brought in to be an arm when we were short on arms in the bullpen, and it just simply does not make sense to bring him back for the 2023 season. There is a lot of work to be done with this Red Sox bullpen to be decent in 2023, and bringing back Familia is simply not part of that equation. We also have Rob Refsnyder, who is a free agent. Now, Rob is the guy I was talking about when we were looking at Tommy Pham being the fourth outfielder. If you compare the two, Rob Refsnyder has had some really clutch moments for the Red Sox. Tommy Pham's had some clutch moments for the Red Sox. Rob Refsnyder has been fantastic defensively. Tommy Pham struggled a little bit defensively. Rob Refsnyder also has a lot more versatility than Tommy Pham does. Tommy Pham's really a corner outfielder only. He's not very good in the corner outfield position, but he's a lot worse in center field. Rob Refsnyder can play any outfield position at all, and on top of that, his contract will probably be a little bit cheaper than Tommy Pham's. So if you're looking at one of those guys to be the fourth outfielder, if I'm the Boston Red Sox, and what I know from looking at the signings the Boston Red Sox have made, they love that versatility. They love finding that diamond in the rough, and Rob Refsnyder was both of those. So I could see if you're deciding between both of those to be a fourth outfielder, you take in Rob Refsnyder. So yes, I think the Red Sox will try and extend Rob Refsnyder for the 2023 season. The last and final guy on the list of Red Sox free agents is James Paxton, because technically the club has a option for the 2023 and 2024 season, and honestly, I have absolutely no idea what they're going to do with this. I understand that you wanted him here and you took a gamble in hopes that you would be competitive come September and he would be able to bolster that team and really make a push either towards a playoff or towards the top playoff spot. That didn't happen. You gambled and you lost. So in my opinion, in 2023 and 2024, take your losses and run, right? $13 million a year for 2023 and 2024 isn't going to break the bank by any means at all. But at the same time too, that money could be allocated to either a really good closing pitcher or two fairly solid relief pitchers, which in my opinion are needed much more desperately than the starting pitchers we have. And that's it, right? Like I said, this video was going to be beefy. I'm sorry that it was so long, but I wanted you guys to get an idea of just how open this free agent market is for the Boston Red Sox. There are a million different ways that the Red Sox could go, and these are the ways that I see it going. I want you guys to let me know down below in the comment section, which way would you go? Who would you re-sign? Who would you not re-sign? What would you do if you were in charge of this team and the free agents that come with it in 2023? Let me know all your thoughts down below. As always, if you've made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Plus, you made it to the end of this video, you might as well hit that subscribe button. You also might as well hit that like button as well. Like I said, helps this video out a ton, would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. for the live stream and in the red seats.